Grab your foam roller. Hello, good morning. Grab your foam roller and put it underneath your feet end of the mat. So we're going to start with some bridging. That way, as everybody comes in, your back is getting a warm up, your feet are on the foam, and you're lifting up and down. Okay, so your feet are on the foam roller, your back's on the mat, and you're going up and down. Now, if you are not having a foam roller, or if you want to modify, you can do the feet on the floor. Everybody good? Technologically good? Okay, good. Up. And Jean, good. All right, up. I'm making sure, Michelle, you can hear me. Shireen, you can hear me. Jean and Karen, I'm just making, oh, Jean will come back on. Good. Now, stay up when you're in the bridge and your hips are up, and do a little pulse series. Take 10 little movements, like an inch to 3. Stay up, guys. Let your knees you up and down, like a little pulse of internal rotation. Feel your glutes. Hi, Jean. Now open them up like a little wider than your heels and do the pulses for 10. Now put the knees over your heels and roll down a vertebra at a time and take your hands to your feet. Now pull the knees down so you've got this stretch. 5 from happy baby. 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to put the feet back down, and I want to change it a little bit. Are you ready? So push your roller away from you 1 more inch. And lift up and down and do bridges at that slightly feet further away from your booty angle. It's not long, your knees aren't long, but they just aren't as bent as they were. Hi, Catherine. Come on up and hi. All right, now you're going to be doing a couple more. Woo! And then take your hands to your feet, the happy baby. So the happy baby stretch is going to stretch out the hamstrings and the back and the hips. Now we're going to lift one leg up so it's getting a longer stretch, and one leg's just hovering over the foam roller. Get ready, inhale, tuck the chin and come up. Now stretch your other leg up and pull it in. Now I'm going to offer some modifications. So you keep going. This is abdominals, and what I like is the hamstring stretch. So one leg you're pulling in, and then the other leg you're pulling in. Now I'm going to offer a modification. Your hands can come behind your head, or you could leave your head on a pillow, a ramped up surface, and another modification is you put the Pilates ring around your head and you kind of hold it so your neck doesn't have to work as much. Just take 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Now let your head down and keep your leg up. So at this moment, you're doing a hamstring stretch, but your leg is long. And just sort of wake up that hamstring. 10, lengthen through the back of your leg. 8, and notice your shoulders and try to relax them. 5. Now we're going to take that leg down and take your other leg up and pull it in. Pull it in. Feel the hamstring lengthening. Lengthening, lengthening. And also when you exhale, just notice, what can I let go of? Now this foot, this leg is going to come down. Now full body stretch, reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, roll your ankles, point your toes, stretch out your fingers, stretch out your toes. It's like you're just giving everything a little wake up. Breathe in fully, inhale. Now on your exhale, reach your hands forward and then peel your spine up the best you can. I'm going to give you a modification if it doesn't work out, okay? The modification is when you roll down, you just stay in this abbreviated range of motion so you don't have to pick up off the floor. I'm showing an abbreviated movement now, but now I'm going to show the full one again. If you are okay with coming down and then reaching your arms overhead, tuck your chin, peel up and over, and that way you figure out what works for you. We are on the roller on this and it is gonna roll, but if you don't have a roller, don't worry, you can just do this with your legs on the ground. Stretch, there's a hamstring stretch here. And I like to pull the toes back as the hamstrings get more warmed up. Exhale, tuck the chin, go up and over, and feel a little hamstring stretch. So we're sneaking in flexibility. We're sneaking in abdominal core strengthening. We're sneaking in articulation of the spine. So you want to feel all, yep, perfect, Catherine. And up and over. One more time. Inhale, tuck the chin. Exhale, come up and over your legs. And then inhale and go down and full body stretch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now we're going to take the torso and turn over on the belly. Now I'm going to shift which way I am because I just want to see you, but you can just flip over with your hands, or excuse me, elbows on your foam roller. Your arms are going to be long. Oops, there. Got a little bug. Okay. I know that wasn't yoga-ish of me to kill a bug, but I don't like them. They bite me. So come up and lower. Now, this is a swan. You're going to inhale and lift up. Now, you're peeling your spine. It's like that articulation, but the other way, the back body. So inhale, lift. Neck is easy. Press your arms. Inhale, lift. Train, that looks great. Good, Jean, good. And up. It's at your own pace, so I'm cueing this multiple swans, and you may notice you can get higher, but you're not forcing it. Now we're gonna stay up, so hold in a place where you feel like you can hold for 10. Exhale to lower. We're gonna do 2 more sets of 10, so take an inhale, peel up, 10. Nice, Jean. And then exhale, lower. We're going to do it again. Inhale, come up, lift. And lower. All right, we're going to sneak in a child pose. If you care to add your toe stretch in there, pull the toes under and then push. And it's like you get a low back and a foot stretch. Ideally, the heels are straight up. We're going to put the foam roller underneath our shin side of the foam roller. Of the mat. I like to toe in a little bit so it's not on my bone, my tibia, so it's act like you're pigeon-toed. But place your elbows, so we're off the hands here, on the mat. And you're going to toe in. The foam roller is closer to the knee side of your lower leg. That way when you bend your knees, you've got room to roll out the leg and the bending of the knees. Your knees come in. That way the roller is kind of rolling out your shin muscle, not your bone. And you're never on the kneecap with your foam roller, by the way, but it's on your foam roller is closer to the knee side of your lower leg. Act like an inchworm. Pull your knees under and then relax your neck along the way. 4. Inhale and exhale. So you're still breathing, you're not holding. 3. Feel your abs. 2. And 1. Now we're going to put the knees in and take a little child's pose. You can certainly just leave your ankles on the foam roller. I'm going to do that. Your hips are up. Now we're going to add an oblique angle to this foam roller exercise called inchworm. So let your forearms come down and go into a plank. You're on the foam roller. Now bend your knees, but direct them towards your left elbow area and then go back to a neutral plank. Now bend your knees, but direct them towards your right elbow area and then plank. Bend the knees left, bend the knees right. Catherine, I'm just, oh yeah, there you go. You have to adjust sometimes the foam roller so it's on your mat horizontal. Another thing you could just do is, if you want a modification, is do the plank without the foam roller. So if you need a modification, just do plank without the roller. One more each side. And then take a child's pose, rest. And then we're gonna mix it up. So move your roller for a moment, and we're coming back to it, but I do want it just out of the way. You're gonna be belly down, hands go beside your hips, palms face the floor. So palms face the floor. Now inhale, lift the arms. Now the hands are off the floor. You're lifting your back, your upper back. Check your neck, lift your thighs, and hold. Now every time you breathe, you go up. So when I say hold, you're not holding still, you're holding the position, but you organically will move and you don't fight that. Breathe, you kind of float like you're in the pool or you're in a lake. Lower for a moment and catch your hands. See if you can interlace your fingers. Go up, inhale. Now relax and switch your hands. Let's do it again. Here we go. Come up. And relax. Now you can push back into a child's pose. Toes under if you would like, or toes normal, and stretch. We're going to come back to the foam roller, and it's going to be on the leg side of your mat. So actually grab a sip if you need it, and then meet me there on the foam roller, being at the leg side of your mat. Stay right there. All right. You are, oh, let me get it over from the roller so we don't have an accident. Okay, you're going to be on the forearms. You're going to have long legs, and you're going to be piking up. I like the foam roller kind of on my muscles, so to internally rotate. Lift your hips, but keep the knees fairly long this time, like you're making an upside down V. Lift up your hips, and then lower. I'm going to look at you, lift up. Good, good, Catherine, good height. And lower, good. Betty, I can see that's good. Good, everybody's doing good. And up, and notice how you adjust your neck so that it doesn't get tense. In plank, I'm kind of looking towards my hands, but when I lift my hips, I'm looking towards my roller. That way the neck doesn't have any tension. Come up. All right, try two more. Now, bend the knees under a child pose for a moment. This is also a good opportunity to release tension anywhere that might have accidentally gotten created, like neck or hands. Now we're going to do a diagonal oblique lift. So your forearms are down, you're in a plank. Now very similar to what we just did, but lift your hips kind of towards the left wall. Now lift your hips towards the right. It's a little diagonal, so leftish, rightish, leftish, rightish, left, right, left, right. Now recover. Very good. Now we're going to change it up altogether, and we're doing a side plank. So I'm turning, it doesn't really matter what arm you start with because we're going to do both. But the elbow is underneath your shoulder. Your other arm is up in the air. Now your plank can be on the foam roller for harder, or it can be off onto the floor for easier. 10. I like stretch out through the fingers too, like give them some attention. Yeah. Inhale. Now with your exhale, you're going to lower your hip. Never collapse at the shoulder. And then other side. Your modification would be do not use the roller. Your harder is to use the roller. Now stretch out through, even your top fingers get some wingspan, some attention, like you're trying to touch your fingers to the sky. Breathing. Feel how there's a little instability your body has to create the stability for. Breathe in. Now inhale, now lower your hip. Good job. And then you're going to go forward. If you would like to take a bound angle here instead of the reverse plank, you can. But if you would like to take reverse plank or reverse tables, another good backup plan, lift up. So you can also take a reverse table if you need to modify. Breathe in. Exhale and reach one arm forward and pull the fingers down like you're trying to touch your fingers to the underside of your forearm. Relax the shoulder. Reach one arm forward and try to pull the fingers down, under and down. Long elbow. The long elbow really makes that stretch. Breathe in. Now on your exhale, we're going to try to take about 20 counts to get down. Listen to your body. Go down quicker if you need to. Make sure your space is good. 1, 2, 4, 7, 10. Now you can take a big full body stretch even through your fingers and toes at the bottom, and then put those fingers or hands behind your head and lift the feet as if there's a table underneath your calves. Rotate to right shoulder to left knee. Rotate. Left shoulder or elbow to right knee. Right to left. Left to right. Now scan the belly and see if it's pulling in. Modification. Head on the floor, legs vertical. Pilates ring around the head. Harder. Legs are lower, but the ribs are staying down. The ribs must stay down. All right, the belly is pulling in. Pull your toes back, just 10 more. Stretch through those feet. Spread them out like monkey toes, like chimpanzee toes. Stretch. Get ready. One more each. Now, hands to the feet. Pull your knees wide. You're in a little butterfly stretch. Leave your head down. Lift up your legs and glue them together. Circle them one way and keep your ribs down. And inhale. Circle the other way for a corkscrew. And circle. And circle. Circle. Okay, 4 more. Modification, bend the knees a little. Harder, lengthen the knees and make it really big circle, but keep the ribs down no matter what. 1 more. All right, now hug your legs in, squeeze them in, and relax the back. Now leave your head down and pretend that you're bicycling in the air. There's this bicycle in the air, and the more you take your feet away from you, the harder it is, but the ribs are staying down no matter what you're choosing. Those of you that want to take a little bit more, hands behind your head, come up 30 degrees in the chest, in the shoulders. If you want to keep on coming up, you can either bicycle your arms or take your hands behind your head for harder. Try about 5 more. 4. Good. 3. 2. Now stay up, and then just stay up, and if you want to grab a sip, grab it. We're going to sneak in a stretch or two here. Both arms go out after you So I grabbed a sip, grab one if you need. Both arms go out and you add a rotation. Breathe. Now take another inhale. Open to the other side. Catch something, your hand on your knee, and breathe. Good, Michelle, that's it. 10. Now, this is a fun one. Legs out like a V. Rotate, arms up, rotate, and then pretend that you're trying to reach your pinky finger to your pinky toe. Well, don't pretend, you can actually do it. If you can do it, do it. So, but if you can't, don't worry about it, because sometimes the first ones are just tight, and that's okay. So you reach. Notice how your neck will change, like you're probably looking down to your thighs when you're reaching, and you're probably looking at your toes when you begin, and then you might change your gaze towards your thigh because you want your neck to feel easy and not have tension. Now notice, are you getting a little deeper in your stretch? If you want more, pull your toes back to you, especially that pinky toe. It's going to help strengthen the ankle and the balance muscles. Now, just take about 4 more with your even right and left. So you're making sure you're even. 2 more. Reach like someone's pulling your back arm and your front arm. Now, let them go wider if you can. Okay, not forcing it, but if they can. One way to do lateral flexion is to put your hand on the outside of your leg. Another way to do it is to put your hand on the inside and then even reach for the opposite. What way makes you feel like you can concentrate on the stretch and not worry about toppling over? So you find what works for you. I love to add a little rotation here. It sort of relaxes my muscles. See what happens for you and breathe into that side. Breathe fully through the nose if you can. Inhaling, feel that breath help you go to the other side. Now your hand and thigh, inhale up and over. Ooh, and you might rotate. Remember, this hand may be somewhere else for you. You're gonna find what helps you really concentrate on the stretch. Mm-hmm. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, hinge forward. Now slowly come back into neutral. Doesn't everything feel better? We're gonna grab a sip and then meet back on the floor for some swans. I ran out of that drink, but luckily I always have about 4 cups of drink. So we're gonna do belly down swan after the sip. Now, you can use your roller or not. So what happens is, the first part is your upper body going up. You inhale up. And then the next part is when your head's down, you lift your legs. Now you lower your legs and then you lift your upper body up. Now you lower your torso and you lift up your legs. Go up in your upper body. I like to think about a rocking chair, how when one side's down, the other side's up. Or a hobby horse might be another image that makes sense to your body. And then just keep doing your own pace. Go up. Notice how your hamstrings are working and your glutes. We need those muscles for a good back, to help our back. Breathe in and legs. And upper body and legs. Now hold your upper body in a place that you can stay. Breathe for a bit, 10. And lower, and then you're going to hold your right hand to your right foot, if you can reach it. If not, don't worry, just do the swan. If you can reach your left hand to your left foot, you can add that. If not, don't worry, we're going to do it twice. So go up. Now soft neck, bow pose. Enjoy how your shoulders feel open. Now lower for a moment. We're going to do it again, or the other foot. Inhale, lift. And relax. Now, this time, the child's pose is going to include an arm stretch, a back stretch. So walk your fingers over to one side as if you're trying to get your pinky far away from your hip. Left pinky far away from left hip. Breathe. Open up your armpit. Now we're going to walk the fingers over to the other side so your pinky is far away from your hip. Open up that armpit. Inhale. Exhale, close. Hope you're feeling great. This next move, if you would like to be off your hands, you can do a dolphin, which is on your forearms. If you don't mind being on your hands, you can take a down dog. So, and I know I do this move a lot. I think it's just like one of the coolest moves for the spine to articulate. And another backup plan would be cat-cow. So let me just show you the move, which is, there's my calves. Down dog, and let's just stay here for a moment because it's such a great calf stretch, and it's the densest muscle per square inch in the body, so they generally could use a stretch. Now the move is lift your heels, then try to articulate your lower back, your middle back, your upper back into up dog. And remember, if you want to do cat-cow instead, that's fine. I want you to listen to your body. Now you tuck your chin, you curl, upper back. Try to think middle back. Try to think lower back. The reason I'm using the word try is because I know people would tell me it doesn't feel like my spine is individually articulating, but put your attention there, even if you don't feel like it's moving. So put your attention on the upper back articulating, middle, lower back. Inhale. So the lift of your heel. So where you put your attention, where you put your focus, will grow, will get better, will respond. Inhale. And then exhale, tuck, upper back, middle back. Where you put your attention, that will get bigger, that will respond. So even if you visualize your back getting more flexible, and tuck. Now, we're gonna take a child's pose for a moment, bend the elbows like you're patting yourself on the back. And then you can sit any way you want to. We're gonna take a few hand stretches. One is thumb to first finger, like you're making an OK symbol. Flip your fingers so they catch your jaw and pull your thumbs over, the thumb and first fingers over your eye. So I probably will come in closer so you can tell what I'm doing. See that? Lift your elbows up, good, inhale. Now this is a full arm stretch, it's called. So tuck your fingers under. You see I'm aggressively trying to touch my underarm, my under forearm. So really folding that. Now pull it back like I'm behind you and I'm just tugging at your arms. Everybody looks good. Yeah, good, really good. Now flip them. We're also addressing some ulnar and radial nerve here. If you've ever had like feelings of paresthesia down your arms, then you know what nerves I'm talking about. Catch yourself with your cow face. Yeah, you can sit any way you want. My essence, my intention is that we are in a happy sitting place so you can really focus on your arms. Now add a big inhale, like your breath is expanding that stretch. Feel how my ribs got bigger and wider. And notice how far you've come. Notice how the stretches feel a little easier. Switch it up, catch it, walk it up, kind of help it out, like push your elbow. Big inhales, chin lifts a little bit, Catherine, just the tiniest bit. Yeah, there you go. And that'll help your upper back be more erect. Oh, looks good, everybody. Breathe, feel your shoulder open on the right. Now this is going to be the prayer pose. So both hands are like this, but behind you, fingers up. If you cannot do it, interlace your fingers and lift up. Breathe, or you can do it in the front. Nice, inhale. Good, Jean, you're finding a way to get in there. Holds, like whatever works. So open the shoulders, open, like so watch my elbows. Notice how I can open them. You can add if your body will let you do that. Hold, palms touch as much as you can. This is so good for posture. That's why everybody's going to stay tall and erect and will not get folded over because of these postures. Now this is sort of just like Liberace, just one at a time, right? And then this is really one at a time, one finger out, then one. Now really try to stretch out whatever finger. So you know how the fingers can kind of go like this. Now stretch out your third. That's for me the hardest. Stretch it. Now stretch out the fourth. Now stretch out the fifth. Now thumb in, try to keep the other straight, finger in, try to stretch the other straight, middle. If you've ever had any arthritic symptoms, rheumatoid, anything, osteo, this is a great one, or you've just been working hard with your hands, and come in. All right, now just shake them out. There's no formal movement, and then take a little qigong. That's a calming delta brainwave activity, nervous system releasing. And then one more, this is called the rack. We're doing the arms back. So one arm up and back, one arm up and back. Now lift your heart. Breathe in. Now you're barely on your hands. You're just using the hands to catch your arms in a place. You're not like hanging out on them like reverse plank. Breathe in. And then exhale, come down to your arm, but like a pillow. Take the top leg and point it up. Now look how high you can go. You can even help it, and then flex and point it up. And really think about flexibility. 3, and point and flex. 4, again, we're working these nerves. 5, moving the foot and ankle. 6, because we like balance. We like our feet to be healthy because we're standing on them. We need them healthy. It helps the back, it helps balance. 9, 10. Now catch your foot or your leg or your ankle or your thigh and hold. Breathe. Yes, stretch. You can even use a Pilates ring. 10. Catch that foot in the air and hold it. Oh, come to your side, Betty. Side lying. Now reach your right hand to your foot and try to stretch. Now relax your head on your arm. You got it. Now that should feel amazing. Notice how it keeps coming in. And let's just switch sides. So we're just doing the top leg right now. Don't worry about the bottom leg right now. Lift up and go as high as you can, and then flex it down. Go up as high as you can, and then you can even help it, right? And then flex it down. Go up and point and really flex, like exaggerate the ankle. Good, breathe in. 8, 9. Now it's ready to be held, right? Hold on to something, pull it in more. Breathe and breathe. The bottom leg helps you stabilize. Give that attention, Michelle, that looks great. 10. Yeah, and let yourself kind of exhale the tension away. Your eyes, your jaw, your inner thigh, your hamstring. 5, 4, 3, feels so good. 2. Now lower that leg down. Now both legs are gonna come up together. So up with your exhale. Up and feel your tummy. It should be helping you, not your back. Feel your tummy, and you're on your side, Catherine, that's right. Your arm's your pillow, or your pillow's your pillow. Oops, 13, 14, 15, 16, feel your waist. 17, 18. Let's add on our top leg up and down, but keep your bottom leg up. Build that hip so that we don't fall, so that the bone's strong. Now leave the top leg up here, and then the bottom leg goes up. Now let's go over to the other side. I want to see you, so that's why I'm flipping my entire body on the mat. If you want to just turn over, you can. Both legs go up. Neck is soft, it's not helping. Top leg is going to be adding on here, so get ready. Good, Betty. 1. I like a hand here because it gives me some feedback. So every now and then you can check. Now the bottom leg goes up. Nice job. Now on the belly, you're going to put your arms like a pillow, lift up both legs, and pretend that you're swimming laps, and you need to flutter kick about 30 times. Also, tap your feet together about 30 times. All right, come back. Little child's pose here. And then a down dog or a dolphin. And I say dolphin because if you don't want to be on your hands, you're going to be in dolphin. Pick up your right foot and push your left heel down so that leg and calf and hamstring get a stretch. Hold. 10. Feels so good. Relax the neck as you're here. Try the other foot down and pick up your left foot and push your right heel down and feel that one leg all by itself. Try both legs and feel your calves really stretch. Lower for a moment, and if you want to sit, grab it. If you would like your foam roller for side plank, grab it. And if you're doing the side plank on your roller, it's over at your calves, let your elbow down. And take your arm up like this in the air and exhale to rotate. Now upper back is where you want to rotate. Stuff like this, rotations in the upper back, keep your upper back mobile, and that's critical for posture. That's critical for preventing that rounded hump that some people get. We're not going to get it because we're doing the moves necessary to keep it away. Also, that helps with balance because then you're not looking up to make up for a rounded back. And that puts your vestibular system in a healthy way. Go to the other side. It also helps with energy because when you're folded over, you can't even get a good breath. So work like this is so important for just staying strong, staying high quality of life. Upper back, upper back. That means your hips are still the same, facing the same direction as when you start. The hips are not moving, they're stable. Now we are going to go to the other side and do a lateral flexion. This is good for posture. Your elbows down. Now you're going to do 10 of these with your hands starting at your thigh, and then you go up and over. I like to stretch through the fingers here as well. Fingers on the top. Breathe in. Good, and lift your hip. Now you're never lowering your hip to the floor on these, but you are lifting, stretching, fingers, breathing, strong bottom arm. Good stretch, good. Now lower with your hip, never your shoulder collapsing. Switch it. Both feet on the roller. Get ready, go up and over. Lift your hip, lift your arm. Awesome, guys. Now we're gonna do, I love this one. Thoracic mobility. So place this on the end of your mat that you're gonna put your upper back on. Take your upper back, the part that most people get in trouble with. Hands behind your head, lift up your booty, roll your upper back. Let me see if it makes sense. This is what we did last week. Good. Oh, everybody's doing great. So I see you're already finding what way you want to do it. If you want to do a back bend here, you can do flexion here. You can sort of deviate right here. You can deviate left here. Do all the movement you want, upper back. Sometimes I get an adjustment here, so a little rib rotation. Five, 4, 3. Now, if you can, and I'll show you, do I have a block in here? No. My pillow's over there. So what you can do is do a thoracic extension with a pillow or a block or a Baja blanket under your head if you need one. And then your arms can be out like a T or a Y, and you're doing a passive upper back extension. I'm going to look at you, but you're finding out what you need, like a block. And Karen, I think that could go lower on your back, like on your scapula. Oh, because you're probably setting up with your yoga block. Good. Okay, great, good. Michelle, that looks really good. 10, Now, gently tuck the chin. Get the foam roller out of the way, but you are going to use it again. Now let your back, now notice how flat your back is. Oh, lift your hips so that the sacrum-ish is on the roller. The modification would be a bridge with your feet on the roller. I'm sorry, with your sacrum on the roller. Now you can extend your legs, your feet could go long one at a time or both. Now you may have to adjust so the roller's more underneath your gluteal crease. I want you to find which of these supporteds is good for you. Good. There should be no low back pain. If there is, generally the correction is move the roller lower towards your heels just a little bit, like near the gluteal crease, where the hamstrings meet the tush. Now we can add the arms like a T or a Y out to the side. Breathe. One more. Slide your heels to the floor, just long enough to lift up your booty. Notice how your back feels when it's down on the ground. Take the foam roller long ways. Your sacrum's at one end, and your arms are like a big T or Y. And this one, you're basically totally on the roller. This is why the travel rollers are great, the little ones, but if you have one at home, I like the 3 feet one because then you can do all of these stretches. So this one, I think I put this one in the last newsletter or the one before, so that you have just an easy stretch you can do that's no fuss, but does help posture. Now breathe in fully. And it's like your exhale is melting any tension away. I have an image of pancake batter, how it just sort of spreads out. That's how your body is just letting go. And it's interesting how you can scan your body and you find another little area that you can let go. Now very gently you can slide off of there. And I would like to offer a hip opener on your foam roller. So see if you can take your right ankle to left thigh and roll, and just sort of keep calm as you're doing it. Like we're not going to tighten our neck or shoulders. We're just going to roll out that hip. And anywhere is probably fair game, but from the high part of the sacrum, or excuse me, the high part of the pelvic rim, down towards your sit bone, towards your greater trochanter, that side bone. That's it. Good. You're going to see what works for you. 10, 9. Yeah. There you go, Jean. That's it. You want more on the booty, not the back. Yeah. And you guys are, well, it's hard to change sides because one side feels so good, but try the other. Roll it out. Breathe in and out. Puppy time. Michelle, I'd like to see if these help your back too. In general, the hip openings, and I mean stretching and fascial releases like we're doing, will help the back. But the body likes the stretches, the body likes the myofascial release. That's why things like this plus stretching is more effective than just one. All right, you're doing great. Breathe in. And now can you take your quads and it effectively, grab a sip if you need, it effectively puts us in a plank, but just be calm and easy in your neck. Let your forearms be on the mat and roll out your thighs. And you can do all sorts of things. See how you're just kind of going back and forth? You can toe out like you're Charlie Chaplin. Externally rotated. Breathe in and out, guys, and just kind of make it like it's a flowy move and not like a really big strength move. Now toe in like you're pigeon-toed, like my ducks. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now another way, if you want, now just neutral, like toes facing the floor. It's going to help any kind of tension in the knees. Now you can even bend the knees and then straighten them, kind of like you're pumping, gently pumping, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Good. Now just do any of those that felt good to you. Just sort of have fun. If you've ever had knee tightness, this is great. I didn't say it yet, but you can deviate and get more left leg. And you can deviate and get more right leg. You can get a little more IT if you want. You might like that, yeah. Catherine, this will be good for your knees too, that quad and that IT band. It'll just lighten up the pull that the muscles and the fascia have on the knee. And Shireen, I'm having an urge to, the IT might be helpful for you too. Yeah, feel it? Yep, it was intuition. You got to practice those intuitions, but yeah, try the other side too whenever you're ready. I just want to make sure we get it. And you just feel it. Maybe one leg's tighter than the other, and then you just gather information. Keep the breathing. That way your nervous system says everything's okay. We're having a good time. Take about 5 more rolls to kind of finish out what your body needs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then relax. I like a way to relax with the feet on the wall, or Betty, I know you have it on the couch. Like it's basically legs up, but another way to relax would just be get back on your roller if you want a different variation. So I'm going to offer legs up on the wall. I like the sacrum to be elevated too because of that great benefit of decompressing the low spine. So you are up, the hips are higher than your back. You can relax your neck here and kind of release your shoulders here. Breathe. Now breathe in fully. Breathe in fully. Breathe in fully. Breathe in fully. Let go of the mind and feel. Really absorb yourself in the feeling of the breath. Slowly release the block or the foam roller and slowly make your way up to a seated position. And you're erect, but you're not stressfully so. You're lifting up through your spine, but with little as you can get by. My chimes. And these are really for bilateral stimulation too. So you put them in and they have a vibration that goes with them. So you can just imagine that you feel that vibration. Your hands can be on your heart. It calms the activity between the right and left brain. So you're not acting out of the amygdala You're just sort of relaxing. And notice how good it feels to have given your body attention. Where your attention is, the growth occurs. And notice how it reciprocally is going to give you good feelings today. A feeling of strength and balance, mobility, agility, capability. Breathe it all in. And I'm going to notice, my intention is I'm noticing how it feels to give my body good attention. Today I'm going to continue to listen to its guidance as it gives me cues as to how to keep it optimally healthy, peaceful, and well. I'm going to appreciate my body every opportunity I get. I'm going to make sure I don't use any words against it. I'm going to only use words that uplift it and other people's health and body. With so much appreciation, thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Have a great day. Give me any insight about what's working. I love that stuff. It helps me know how to serve you better. Bye, guys. Have a great Thursday.